Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chan, and Mississippi is on the docket. So let's just get into it. So you remember yesterday we talked about the mayor and the DA, right? The district attorney. And they are in a little bit of trouble, but I wanted to take you back so you could see how all this happened, especially people who are new here. Now, people from Jackson, get in the comments, let me know if I'm on the right path or off the path. With that being said, this is Mayor Lumumba on my right and Councilman Kenneth Stokes right here above my head. And when I tell you this man doesn't have anything for this man, please believe it. So, my question yesterday was, how could people just roll in the city and offer all this money and these people be so trusting to these strangers who are coming in here to give them money for a hotel? I know great people from Jackson, but what I know about people from Jackson is they are one. They know each other. They have a whole Facebook page where they just keep up with what's going on in the city, right? So just having some new people coming in, throwing money all over the place, I didn't think that they would trust that. But now I know where they had come from. So we're going to get started kind of at the beginning, and we're going to go from there. So there were a few things that put Jackson on the FBI's radar. And this is just one thing that I'm going to talk about, but there were a multitude of things. Now, Jackson had that water crisis. They have a street crisis. And they also had this garbage disposal crisis. Now, this is not it, but it was one of the things. And Councilman Stokes always voted it down, but for whatever reason, the mayor used Richard's Disposal as who would be the garbage people when Waste Management was local, right? And why wouldn't you use that? So Councilman Stokes not only feels like he may be taking something under the table, but he also feels like he is under something else. Let's get into it.
And delivered a letter to the U.S. Attorney asking for an investigation to prove that he has not taken a bribe from anyone.
It's time for him to put up or shut up. We are not going to play with this. It's not time for him to say, I was just playing. I didn't quite say that. Put up or shut up.
I have never done any drugs in my life, and that is foolish, right? I think that it was funny, for those people who looked at it, but that's what you expect from a clown, is to always be funny.
I've never seen anything like this before. And Councilman Stokes is the epitome of a Mississippi man, and I absolutely love it. Let's keep going. So now we're here at the start of this, and this started this summer, and I had posted about it this summer. Now, Angelique Lee is the only female in this situation, which would make it easy for the feds. You know what I'm saying? Let's start with a weaker situation and get to what's really making this thing rock, right? So she accepted a bribe. I think it was over $20,000. I told you yesterday they gave her shopping sprees. They helped her pay her campaign debt because she was getting garnished. Her checks were being garnished. They was giving her cash and she wasn't reporting it. So once it all went down, let's say it happened on a Tuesday, she went in on a Wednesday and pled guilty. Like, she didn't waste any time. But at this point, her sentencing has been delayed. I feel like when she went in to plead guilty, I feel like she said, well, what do you want to know? And I feel like she told them what they wanted to know, which is where we are today. Now, although Angelique accepted these bribes for this fictional development, right, all the individuals' meetings were described by the council members. What they all have in common is they were arranged by the Hinds County District Attorney, Jody Owens. Now, here enters in Jody. He's the owner of the cigar bar where they had those meetings in the back with the developers, which are the undercover agents. So let's get into it. So that leads us to this, because this is where we are right now. Because yesterday, the mayor made a video on Facebook. He was saying that he had been indicted, and he's going to fight this, and he knows that he is free of all this, so he's pleading not guilty, right? So he's facing 5 federal felony counts, and the district attorney, Owens, he's facing 8. But there was someone in my comments, and shout out to you, because you know exactly who you are. She was saying, you know, I know his father, meaning the mayor, his father is rolling over in his grave. So I'm like, who is his daddy? Child, his father was an attorney who represented Tupac in cases with an S. But one particular case that you may know about was in Atlanta, and it was the aggravated assault on 2 undercover police that he helped Pac get out of. And the mayor, the current mayor, his father went on to become the mayor of Jackson. He passed away at 66. So now his son comes in, the current mayor of Jackson, facing 5 federal felony counts. That's why she said his dad was rolling over his grave, because what TF? So here we are, the Jackson bribery scandal. Mayor Chokwe Lumumba, DA Jody Owens, and Councilman Aaron Banks have all pled not guilty, and y'all, they already have a trial set to begin on January the 6th of 2025. Oh my goodness. So the mayor made a video Wednesday talking about his indictment and all of that in this hotel development scandal. So these are the charges that they're facing. Owens, he's the DA, he is facing 8 felony counts. Lumumba, the mayor, is facing 5 felony counts, and Banks is facing 2 felony counts. So these are the counts that they're facing, right? Basically a little of everything. Lumumba has bribery. They have bribery together. Owens has making a false statement. Lumumba has 1 count money laundering and things like that. But I was trying to figure out, what is interstate facility in aid of racketeering? Well, it is traveling in interstate or foreign commerce to distribute proceeds of unlawful activity. Because y'all remember, I told y'all they were flying on the FBI jet to Nashville, to Florida, for campaigns, going to strip clubs. A mess. Now, Banks has the least of the other 2 gentlemen, right? He has 1 count of conspiracy, 3 counts of federal program bribery. Now, the penalties for these men, because that interstate aid racketeering, that holds 20 years by itself. So Lumumba could possibly get 70 years of imprisonment and fines of $1.5 million. Owen faces up to 90 years in federal prison and has to pay $2 million in fines. And Banks faces up to 15 years in prison with $500,000 in fines. Like, it's not that serious at all. So it all comes back to Angela. Remember? Like, she's the least person in this situation. So why not go after the weaker person? Because more than likely she's going to tell it so we can get who we need, which is Lumumba, Banks, and Owens. Allegedly. Let me say that. So this is coming behind, their indictments are coming behind her guilty plea that she did in August, where she committed to bribery and accepted nearly $20,000 in cash deposits and gifts. And you know what? All the money that these people had taken looked like they would have done something for their city. Have you ever ridden down a road in Jackson, Mississippi? Like, anywhere else, you would be stopped because police would think that you were driving under the influence. They zigzag in order to preserve their automobiles. If you drive a truck, it better be 3 feet off the ground, because you could hit something and it's over for you in that car. They fill the potholes with potting soil. So all this money, y'all could have got at least 1 street fixed in the city. This is why people don't vote. This is the very reason why people do not vote, because they do not trust the people that are supposed to be working for them. This is the very reason. I'm going to leave you with some words from Councilman Kenny Stokes. I could not leave without saying this. I'll be back.
You won't know what I'm thinking. The mayor got to stop smoking that dope. The mayor must stop smoking that dope.